Hello everybody and welcome to Travel Faithfully. This is Pastor Megan and I'm here at Chichen Itza in Mexico and just learning about the temple and different kinds of sacrifices. What a lot of people think is that there were the kinds of sacrifices that you see on Indiana Jones, the Temple of Doom, where they cut off someone's head and rip out their heart and put it up, and that was something that the Tulum people did, but it was not just like poor people that they picked or vulnerable people they picked. It was the best warriors after a battle, and they were honored to be able to do that because they thought it meant they immediately ascended to the gods and were up in heaven. If you think about the story of Jesus and how he ascends, it's a similar kind of story, though not the same if you're a Christian, because Jesus ascends everyone, not just the one person who's being sacrificed. The Mayans themselves didn't believe in full death sacrifices. They would pierce their tongue with the agave plant, pierce their ears, pierce other parts of their body that don't sound fun to me, and use just those drops of blood as their sacrifice. In this space, it is a triumph of mathematics. It is a triumph of sound and song, the way that the sounds bounce from one place to another. This idea of the snake and the shadow and being timed with the way the sun and the moon works is beyond my ability to figure out architecture and beyond my ability to even... Can you imagine if every Sunday I had to set up the altar exactly perfect so that it aligned with the sun, so that this perfect ray of light happened in one moment, and if I got it off by one sliver, then the worship didn't happen. Whew. Thank goodness that's not how we do it today. But we do have connections to the earth and the moon and the stars. You'll see that in a lot of beautiful hymns. And this was a place where people could celebrate that. Noble people could come every day. The lower class people could only come 2 times a year. And maybe they were being tricked through the worship. And that's something that still happens today. If you've ever heard about the gospel on TV that says, if you send enough money, God will grant you prosperity. Very similar kind of shenanigan going on. So it's easy to judge ancient cultures that are different than us when we still do some of the same exact stuff in our worship services. Today, as we think of Chichen Itza, I just want you to think about how would you, or how have you in your life, sacrificed? As Lutherans, we believe that there was one great sacrifice that happened 2,000 years ago, so we don't have to repeat these sacrifices in order to gain God's love. We, like the people who grounded this place near watering holes, we ground ourselves in the waters of baptism, but still we experience difficulties in our lives, and we sometimes see them as suffering. Sometimes it brings us closer to God. So think about suffering, your relationship to suffering, and how that has helped you see God more clearly, or maybe create a fog over your vision of God. But just think a little bit more about that. And we'll see you next time on Travel Faithfully. Be well.